I like men. Girl, the view up there, stunning.
No, because the way I would feel so safe if I saw these guys on the trail, I would feel perfectly safe setting up my tent right next to theirs if this is the energy they were giving me. From now on, this is my expectation for every man that passes me on the trail. The bar has been set high.
So this video went viral on Instagram recently, and she was getting a lot of hate from men saying, oh, how dare you say that we have to behave gay or act gay, or you're fearful of straight men, whatever. You probably expect me to hate on her because of this, but what I want to do is use this to comment on Western society as a whole. As an example, just an example, we go to the shops and we buy food, and we don't have any connection to hunting the food, slaughtering the food, skinning the meat, cooking the meat. In some cases, there's a lot of people that are just going and buying food that it looks on the table or from the shop nothing like what it did when it was slaughtered or when it was hunted down, and there was no danger for us. We just went to the shops and spent some money to take it. Now, this isn't just with our food, this is with our social condition in the West, where there's so much wealth being transferred into Western society that women like this, they have absolutely no connection with the reality of life. And with straight men as a female, there's always going to be some form of danger to some extent, because the men that are building your society, that are building the buildings, protecting, there's either the people who are protecting you from criminals in society, the police, they have to become somewhat violent, but there's also the people who are not part of the police, the general men in society who need to try to protect you from the government. And so there's a constant battle going on, and in the West we've become disconnected to that. And so for her, a gay male that is just like ha ha ha, giggling, wearing pink, walking down out there hiking in the bush, it's naturally going to be or feel safer for her. I get it. I totally get it. But she is used to having every aspect of Western society treating her like a child. If she walks into a wall and hurts herself, then we blame the person who built the wall, not the stupid woman who walked into the wall. This is how women are treated in the West, and they don't realize how they're treated like such children. And so for her, she has absolutely no connection with taking responsibility for herself. She thinks that she can just go through the bush, and if there's a dangerous man there, that it's his fault. Well, no, it's not always going to be his fault, because the dangerous men that are out there in the bush hiking, they might have become a victim of the police state, the authoritarian dictatorships in the West. He might have had to escape. He might have also had to he might have got done for tax evasion or something while he's just trying to keep a roof over his head. He might have had to defend himself against someone, and next thing you know, he's out in the bush, and he's leading a real life, a real rough life. And I would say that men in the West struggle with some of the hardest lives in the world, in fact, because we're living in this period where we're not even allowed to be human to some extent. And so I just want to connect this up with what we're witnessing here with this delusional woman who, I'd say by all metrics she's maximum a 4 out of 10, if she lived in any other country in the world, she would be a leftover woman and no one would want anything to do with her, and she would be basically crying alone in her pillow every night, hoping for a man to come and sweep her off her feet, which is never going to happen. Now, the problem here is that is what Western society is at the moment. There's just men still going to the West, the best, the brightest, the wealthiest. They're still pumping money into the West. It's still happening. I don't see it changing anytime soon. I don't see the marketing of the West failing anytime soon. And so we just need to be aware that these women, they're not going to change. Now, with that said, there are so many good ones out there, and just because this delusional, selfish, zero self-awareness Instagram girl that does hiking all the time and expects everyone else to protect her all the time and take no responsibility for herself. It's like the people that went through India and got the R-worded recently, or fools that decided to travel through Afghanistan because everyone's peaceful and loving or whatever, and they all disappeared. They got liquidated. If she chooses to live this life, it's not our responsibility. But as a man in the West, there are still some very good ones out there, and they're not going to be on any apps. They're not going to be anywhere other than on the street, approaching them on the street, learning cold approach. And we just need to accept the fact that this is the society that we live in. And so I'm hoping that you guys can somewhat accept that this is the brutal reality of living in the West. And let's not hope that it all collapses like the black pillars. I had someone in the comments yesterday saying, Undead Chronic would call this guy a dating roach, I think he said. So Undead Chronic, if you're out there, I would like to debate you. Actually, one of my fans who's been following me for many years is a fan of Undead Chronic, actually. He mentions him all the time. So I'd like to go on and debate him, definitely. That would be fun. But I've just recently revamped my digital product. I'm going to leave that in the description, or you can go to my website and look for the 30-day challenge. I recommend that you do that, especially if you're dwelling on all the bitterness out there. I don't recommend you do that, but if it's getting to you, I do recommend that you try to think about this in a positive light. What can you do? Let's not always think, these people are bad, and then just dwell in the hatred and the anger, because it's not going to improve your life. It's not going to make you feel any better. It's only going to make you feel worse. And so I recommend you do something positive instead of negative, and try to improve your life in a positive way. Take some steps to move forward instead of backwards and being bitter and dwelling in the hatred. And so for you guys out there that would like to try something like that, try out my 30-day challenge. I might even put it in the description as well for you. And if you like this video, it makes a bit of sense to you, give me a thumbs up as well. And anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video.